I just want to share with you my story about how I have evolved on the climate issue and where it's led me, which is actually to a place that I didn't think it was going to lead me. But for most of my adult life, I was a hardcore skeptic and felt like it was my duty to counteract the liberal media who was only giving one side of the story. And I woke up one morning several years ago, which in of itself was a good thing. And there was this burning question that somebody put there, I don't know. And the question was, Greg, are you doing the same thing the people you're criticizing are doing, in the sense that you're only looking for information to support what you already think? And unfortunately, I had to answer, maybe not intentionally, but that's what I was doing. And so I didn't change my mind that day, but I simply committed myself to being more open-minded and objective about the issue. I think where our society, fails a little bit, and when I go out and give talks to groups now, I bring this up all the time. I said, think back to when you learned about the scientific method. And there are three basic parts to it. You have a hypothesis, which everybody's entitled to. They're legal, they're free, it's great. But then you're supposed to test it. And the way you test it, one of the best ways to test it, is to try to prove yourself wrong. And only upon failing to do that do you accept it as your conclusion. And I think we live in a world right now where everybody wants to jump from the hypothesis to the conclusion, because it's too damn much trouble to do the work, to test it. But what it's made me realize is that there is a division in this country that is severe on not just this issue, but many political issues. And then there's the whole religious split now, that you can't be a person of faith and be a scientist at the same time. That isn't allowed. The way I look at it is, whoever set this thing up is pretty damn smart. So I don't see the conflict there. And when I talk to groups, I'll say, let's go back to the year 1500. And you were brought up to believe that the Bible is inerrant, and that based on everything everybody knows, that the Earth is the center of the solar system. In your lifetime, that's disproven. So now you have a decision to make. You can either say, well, the Bible was wrong about that. What else is it wrong about? I'm going to toss it in the ocean. Or you can say, maybe God was using Galileo to teach us something about his creation, and because we didn't anticipate him doing it that way, we missed it. And then I started thinking about it, and I apologize to people here who are not people of faith. I'm not excluding you from the argument here. I'm just trying to make a point. So I just think it's unfortunate that that so many people think that you can't be a person of faith and be a person that believes in science. To people of faith, I say, science is a gift, embrace it. And to people of science, I say, you don't have to believe in God, but if you respected those who do, they might be more open to hearing what you have to say. I think those two things have to happen in order for there to be a dialogue. And then politically speaking, Bob Inglis, and I don't know how many of you know this story, he's a former congressman from South Carolina. You mentioned this in your talk. And six-term congressman, won by landslides every year. Only thing he knew about climate change until 2008 was that if Al Gore's for it, I'm against it. And he got an invitation to go to Antarctica. He talked to scientists down there. So he came back with a changed mind, and he made that public, and the Tea Party went after him, and he dropped from 85% of the vote to 29% of the vote in the primary. Didn't even get to the general election. And so he has started a nonprofit group called Republic N, spelling Republican with E-N at the end instead of A-N, E-N for energy. And his argument is, I'm still a conservative. Conservatives have the answer to this. We're all about free market, free enterprise. If we take the lead in developing the new technologies for alternative and renewable energy, there are entrepreneurial opportunities, which then creates jobs, which then stimulates the economy. He said, we have the answer. It's just that we're not looking at it the right way. And I'm sitting there thinking, now there's somebody who's thinking outside the box. And so I think what he's, in a sense, saying is, let's sit down with a member of the other party and say, you know, you got some good ideas. We've got some good ideas. Let's take the best of the best and put them together and do something good for the country. You know, is that such a weird idea that we can't do that? So, again, and I'll close by saying this, when I go out and talk to groups, you know, I'm trying to launch head into this whole critical thinking thing that, you know, it's okay that you have a strong belief about something, but test it. And if it turns out to be wrong, don't be ashamed. Be thankful. You learned something. You grew as an individual. That's what society is all about. It's not a bad thing.